Here.
Mark,
Here.
Q, Jack.
Joe.
Good. Deb.
Here.
All right, I'm here. Josh has just notified me he's on a City of Newton meeting tonight, so he cannot make it. Dan.
Yes, sir.
All right. Amy will not be attending. She has a conflict tonight. Stephanie. Stephanie's on?
Yes, sir.
I see you. Thank you. Linda Holt is not going to be in attendance. She's, I think, gone on a bike trip to Italy.
Well,
Good for her.
Yeah, I know. You world travelers, I tell you. Chris De Silva. I did not see Chris on. Okay. All right, that's roll call. Let me just read the opening statement once I find out what I do with it. Okay, in accordance with open meeting law regulation 940 CMR 29.10, please be advised that some senior Senate committee members are attending this meeting remotely. In addition, because senior Senate committee members are attending remotely, all votes taken at this meeting will be roll call vote. Lastly, if any senior Senate committee member is not clearly audible to his or her fellow members or to any members of the public, please notify the chair or his or her designee immediately, and we will do our best to remedy the problem and will inform the public whether the meeting will continue. There will be time for questions from the public at the end of the formal meeting. If a member of the public wishes to speak, please raise your hand on your computer or in the meeting room. And when called upon, please state your name for the meeting minutes. That's it. That is it. We have an agenda for tonight, a relatively light agenda, but we've not been together since, oh, I know. First thing we have to, April. So first thing we have to do is vote on the April meeting minutes. So our last meeting was April 17th, 2025. And I'm looking at them and I know they were sent out. Dan sent them a long time ago.
Yep.
They were sent out again a few days ago. They're not that extensive. Has everybody had time to view them? Does anybody have any burning desires to make any drastic changes? Any errors that you see?
No. Not,
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, I'd take a motion by somebody to accept these as written.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the April 17th meeting as they are written.
All right. Thank you. Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
All right. Thank you, Mark. All right. Via roll call. Paul,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Jack.
Yes.
Thank you. Deb.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Josh not here. Dan.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Stephanie.
Yes.
Thank you. That's it. Okay, we're good to go. So what we've got tonight, something that we're going to speak lightly about, and we can't talk in any detail. And in all honesty, I have no real detail. That's progress on lease negotiations. Quickly, my understanding is from several sources, the lease negotiations are moving along. My understanding is it's more difficult negotiating a lease between a public entity and a private entity. I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't understand the complexities of that. But I have not heard anything yet that would lead me to believe that things are not going to work out. Exactly when it's going to happen, I don't know. Does anybody on the committee have any, without disclosing anything, any data that would lead them in any different direction regarding the lease?
Nope.
No. You
Nope.
didn't hear anything over in Portugal, right?
No.
Deb? Good, okay.
2 cents.
My understanding is there's a legal issue having to do with the state requirements for a municipality must include certain something or others in a lease. And that's the issue that needs to be resolved between the town and the Wexfest people. The discussions are ongoing. The issue is understood. What I don't understand or have any knowledge of is what the negotiating position is from Wexfest and so forth and so on. So it was discussed at an executive session select board meeting 2 days ago. So it's ongoing and apparently a lot of legal back and forth.
Okay, well, so I mean, thank you, Jack. I know you monitor something certainly more closely than I have. But I mean, I've again, and you've not stated anything either that says, wow, they're at a standstill, we don't know if we can go any further. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's a matter of working through the issues and finalize it. Now it's going to be a matter of when do we think it'll be finalized? I don't know. But good news is I think things are moving and that's certainly positive.
Yep, I think we need to, hopefully it'll get solved soon before
Yeah.
the weather turns cold and we won't be able to get some of the building put in ahead of time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're gonna have to
Yeah.
do some construction outside and we need to get that going if possible.
Well, with the winters we've had, in theory, we get cold and we get warm again, we should be okay into December sometime. So if they can get something signed end of September, early October, get things cranked up, we should be okay for outdoor weather.
Okay,
Yeah, we should be. Unless we get a deep freeze and a lot of snow, but who knows? I think we're good. I think we're going to be okay. It's unfortunate because everybody was sort of hoping, at town meeting after this got going and we had to vote, we thought, oh, go and negotiate this and, we'll be, moved in, February 1st or something like that. I don't know if that's real or not. No idea. No idea. I'm going to leave it at that for now. That's as much as we can really cover on that. Fit up and furnishings, etc. Amy did send me a note of which I now need to find. A second.
Here,
Yes, go ahead.
one of the details that committee members may not be aware of. The Lexfest people have cleared the planning board. So the alteration to the special permit relative to parking has been approved, so there are no further planning board issues. So literally it is the paperwork negotiation that appears to be, the terms of the lease seem to be the only thing that are now needing to be finalized.
Good. That's good news. That's excellent. Thank you, Jack. I think we can look optimistically. Lexfest, I'm just looking at some notes. So Peg, Mary Ann and Pat have been meeting regularly to review possible furnishing and equipment needs. They met with WB Mason, visited the company which constructs many of the items of interest, and also with MassCore. So I guess things dealing with the furnishings and equipment that's going to be needed, I guess things are moving along. Not purchasing anything yet or leasing anything yet, but at least figuring out what's going to be needed. Because the good thing is we're going to have space that we're actually going to have to put things in versus not having space to put anything in, presently. Big difference.
Mhm.
So that's about all that Amy really gave me. Did not want to comment on anything else, which is fine. So the other thing, so let me cover the quick one and then I'll go to the longer one. So the quicker one, I think, is do we continue to have monthly meetings until the new center is ready? opinion, people? I say yes. What do other folks think? Just update meetings once a month.
If it's just updates, can it be done with a memo?
What was that again, Dan? I didn't hear clearly.
If it's just updates, can it be done with an email message that's just sent out to the committee members? If there's nothing for us to deliberate. It's just a question.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, and it could just be an update gets sent out. Yeah, I'm not looking for another meeting to attend. I have more than enough, as most of you already do. Any other committee members have any update on that?
Well, I think until we know that the lease has been signed.
Yeah.
And, you know, what the steps are going to be after that. I don't see why we should be sitting here together until we have something else to discuss.
Okay. Okay, that works for me.
Is it time to talk about a long-term question? Our charge was to advise the select board on opportunities for both interim and long-term solutions. We have done so quite well for what we call, I suppose, right now, the interim solution, but the interim solution sounds like it's going to be 15 years of lease.
Mm-hmm.
The question should be discussed, perhaps between you and the select board, whether we go on hiatus once the lease is signed. I don't know what other trigger points would involve our next activity. Frankly, the town needs more money to spend on a water system than building a building when we got a 15-year lease in a site that may work out extremely well. I'm not expressing an opinion, I'm expressing a question that we should perhaps contemplate, and we could contemplate that now or in the next meeting, whenever it is. Ultimately, I guess the select board would be the ultimate arbiter? Don't know. Our charge
Yeah,
did not have an instinct or any sort of defined completion definition. But I don't think we exist indefinitely.
I think you're right, Dan. I don't know that. I mean, we have basically completed what we're supposed, in a sense, supposed to have done for the select board based upon our mission. We need to, the next thing on the agenda that we're going to bring up soon is the discussion of what a final report would look like. Very extensive, not too extensive, advising what, here's the final report, and here might be some next steps. Some next steps might be looking at building a permanent center. But right now, at least my view, I don't know that the town or the select board would have an appetite to looking towards a longer term solution when we have a approximately 15-year solution sitting in front of us that we haven't even begun to occupy yet. You're right, a town bond, the water system, bonding for the Green Meadows School. We had a lot of things, on the plate now and getting onto the plate. I don't know that looking at a senior center that won't have a requirement for at least 15 years. I don't know that there's an appetite to even have that discussion. Just my thought. So I think that's going to just die on the vine. I think it could be mentioned in the final report that, this was a portion of what we looked at. It was discussed. Here were some options that were addressed, and this could be addressed at a future date. Bingo. That's the end of that, I think.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Any other
I agree with
opinion?
you, Jerry, because 15 years from now, taking a look at some of us, we might not even be around here then.
Well, I don't know about you, Deb, but I'm certainly not going to chair the next one.
I see that.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, not 15 years from now. No,
No,
no.
Folks, I have a different viewpoint. I'm gonna repackage some of the stuff that Dan has said. I'm personally irritated at, oh, hey, the town's gonna do water, yada, yada, yada. We are here to advocate for seniors, and I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about another set of problems. They're going to be there, we can't avoid them. But hey, let's do away with us because there's so many other problems, it's not what this committee should be about. So, I do agree that at some point, we're gonna have to go to the select board and say, there's a lease in place, I assume it's 15 years, but I don't even know that. But once we know that, and we know that the senior center lease has been executed and the building has been occupied, so that we know what the issues are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I would propose we keep this meeting going on whatever schedule until after occupancy of the lease center. And then have a formal session with the select board that basically says, brings up the things that we've talked about here. Okay, there's a lease for next year's. We signed up the long-term thing, but conversation that says, what is it you really want us to do, given in lease period, there's gonna be double digits?
All right. Yeah, Go ahead,
Also
Mark.
important will be the renewal terms that are in that lease. If the town has right of first refusal to continue the lease, then that puts the town in a much stronger position than if it's a ticking time bomb and we're gonna get thrown out at the end of 15 years.
Yeah, you're
So
right,
that-
Dan, and
I'd
you're
be
both right. I
curious.
mean, you're right. These are things we don't know at this moment. Yeah, yeah. And to your point, Jack, we don't know, and you're right. Our focus is to serve the senior population. And all I threw out was the fact that I think if we were to go to town meeting or even bring up, until we know for certain we have an issue with the new lease, and it's only going to last 5 years, or something of that nature, I don't think anybody in the town would have an appetite for doing much more. But you're right, we need to go to the select board. Go ahead, Jack.
The other point that comes up here. We are the advocacy body that needs to back up the Council on Aging and the COA director.
Yep.
Until the thing is up and running in a lease space. For us to go, hey, we're done. Just not appropriate.
Right, we're not done. We're gonna put a final report together, and then putting the final report together, there's a number of things still happening now that are going to get put into that report. So we still need to be together. We need to get information back again from the sub-working groups we had that worked on the various things, like the real estate working group, finance working group. So we need to review those things, put those into a final report, and that's going to take us a couple of months just to get that done. So I think we're going to be getting into the lease, and to your point, we just have to wait until we get in and occupy and see if the space is going to serve our needs properly. But again, you're 100% right, Jack. This is for the COA. I mean, we're just to help and get it to this point. Otherwise, we don't have an awful lot to do. We got to get a final report and summarize everything we've done, what our investigations were. So future committees, like we had from the committee we had back in 2011 and 12, you can look at that report and say, oh, I see what they did. Somebody 10, 15 years from now is going to have to look back at our final report and see what was done and what assumptions were made at this particular juncture in 24 and 25. So, to Dan's point, I don't disagree. We don't need to physically have meetings to get together. Now, might there be a few folks that get together and even via Zoom just to start working on the draft of a final report? Yeah, I think we need to do that. But I think a lot of the updates can be done, to Dan's point, via email. And if there's a reason to get together, we can schedule a meeting. That's, we don't have to schedule a meeting out a month ahead. I don't think that any of us are that busy that if we knew 2 weeks ahead, we could probably make arrangements. So I think we're sort of suggesting we're not going to schedule monthly meetings going forward right now. We will try to do things and updates via email. Would that be correct? People sort of agree to that? Yeah, Mark, you're shaking your head, yes. Dan's head is nodding up and down a little
Yes.
bit. Peg, Deb, you're good. Paul, you're good. Jack, you go with that? We're just email communications and meeting if necessary?
Yeah, have meetings as needed.
Yeah. Okay. So, working on the final report. Has anybody got any good suggestions on a way to do this? You know, I think we need to have I hate to go back to working groups again, but I think we need to. Who would want to be on a working group? Now, we don't have everybody here tonight either, so I could oppose that out further than us. But is there anybody on here tonight that would like to be on a working group that would work on the draft of the final report from this committee? I'm happy to be on.
Who wrote the last one? Did Jack write it or did someone else?
Last one we did.
The previous committee,
Jerry, you
The
wrote-
2013,
like 2015.
2013. I sent it out to everybody.
Yeah, how did that get developed?
what he's asking, Jerry, is who did it? I
Yeah.
thought he did it.
Jack, I honestly don't remember, damn it. I looked at it today and I recognize a lot of parts of it and I chaired the committee, but I don't
Okay.
remember how we got all the pieces together. I honestly don't remember.
I'll be happy to be a participant.
Okay,
I assumed that we would look to the previous committee's report just as a source of information for content level and structure. And we can also lean heavily on the report that we made to the town of Maynard for the calendar year 2024
yes.
for content. Obviously, we don't have to have so much necessarily in our final report. I don't know what other sources of information besides our monthly minutes or meeting minutes that we would be calling upon.
Well, a
I
couple
think
of,
Dan makes a good point. Between the annual report, which is done, the presentations which were given at both the
Yeah.
select board and or town meeting. Add a few pictures that came out of the stuff Josh did or whatever, and you're essentially got the most of the report.
yeah, I think we have all the pieces, just about all the pieces right now. You're right, from presentations previously made, the work that Josh did, the work that the working groups did, and documented the visitations that were made, and and data collected. The UMass study that was done, some pieces of that we utilize small amounts of that. That can all be put into the report. I think we have all the pieces. I think this committee needs to this working group needs to get together to kind of ferret through some of the pieces that we have and how can we organize them best and report some of that back to the full committee and say, this is what it looks like. It's got 6 chapters. Here's how they're labeled. And that was why I sent the last one out just as a sample, a guide. Doesn't have to look just like the one that was done in 2013, but it's a guide. So right now, I'm happy to be on this working group. Dan's willing to be on the working group, but I have.
pitch in. I mean, really, the longer the report, the less chance it's actually gonna be read. So a report as compact as we can make it, include links or whatever to other things so that people can
Yes.
know what you want. The one thing that
Yep.
I would kind of push for that has not been highlighted or emphasized in the stuff we've done so far is all the visits, the data collected from all the visits to other senior centers. I think that's gonna be a very valuable piece as, you know, get down the road a bit and should be part of a report that we submit.
Agreed.
I'll be part of the working group.
Okay, I agree. I agree. Let's see, so I'm gonna throw this out. So right now, Jack, Dan, myself, and that's really okay, because I'm gonna throw this out to the other members, Josh and Mary Ann. Who else? Amy's got enough going on right now, but we'll get input from Amy. So
Linda?
Josh, I think Josh is gonna be way too busy. Way too busy. But Mary Ann may have an interest in helping out with this on the committee as a subgroup. Were you starting to say something, Deb?
Yeah, I was saying, what about Linda?
Yep, I have to ask Linda, but she's on vacation in Italy for
Right.
a week or so. Yep.
But she might be interested in doing something like that. I mean, I'll help, but I just don't want to, I can't commit to it right now.
So right now, just so everybody knows, this is what we have to be cautious of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. So we have 10 voting members. So we could have 4 voting members on this. So that we
Okay.
don't have a quorum. And right now we have 3. Let's assume for a moment Mary Ann's not here, so we can always volunteer anybody who did not attend tonight. So let's assume for a moment that Mary Ann says, yes, she would help out. That's 4 right there. So that ends the voting membership that we could have on this working group. That does not impact Linda. Linda was a non-voting member. She can be a part of it.
Okay,
She's non-voting, so she doesn't, constitute the quorum. So, I mean, right now we're okay. And I will throw it out, to Josh and Mary Ann, to the rest of the committee, and ask. But I'm guessing that Mary Ann might want to be involved. And I'm going to guess that Linda might want to be involved to some extent. So that would give us 5, would be 4 voting, 1 non-voting. So we're under the quorum, so we're okay to work. That sound like a plan, at least to get started? Then as we
I
get,
think so.
and as we get going and we start to put pieces together, we're gonna reach out. Each one of us is gonna reach out. Someone's gonna reach out to you, Deb, or someone's gonna reach out to you, Peg, to ask you something from a COA perspective. And we're gonna need to reach out to other members, and we'll send emails out and let people know what's going on. Then we'll have a meeting, let's say in 2 months. And at that point, we can possibly put out a skeletal draft of what this looks like. That's all. Just get some input from the whole committee. Hopefully they'll agree, but who knows? So it kind of sounds like a plan to me. Anybody, any different ideas at the moment for structure of this working group? I don't hear anybody yelling and screaming.
No, may I ask a question?
You may, absolutely.
So if you have a working group put together, and they consist of 4 voting members, and maybe 1 or 2 non-voting, could those members ask those of us who are not on that group to put together some specific information to help out?
Where people get the information from doesn't matter.
Okay,
Right. If they get it from another voting member of the group, doesn't matter. You're not a member of the working group.
okay,
You're a source of information.
got it.
That's it.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Like we'll probably go to Amy. Amy's a voting member, because
Mhm.
she has information, and we're gonna need to ask her some questions, so you're right. Anybody can give input, only 4 voting members can be official members of the working group.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, and I'm not trying to avoid a quorum, but when you get the quorum issue, then you end up posting meetings, and it just makes it more complicated. But we're not trying to do something behind anybody's back. We're just trying to
Right.
find I'll say, not economical, but an easy way to work and maneuver, and on an ad hoc basis, we need to get together tomorrow. Oh, well, if we had to post it, we have to post it 48 hours ahead. We don't want to do that.
Correct. Yep.
So, all right, that's all.
Okay, thank
But
you.
yes, you can absolutely help, and you do not need to be on the working group.
Question?
Did I hear
That would be,
that was you? You didn't have a comment, did you, Jen?
it's actually a question. I see Peg Brown as a guest on this meeting.
Yeah.
And she was part of the working group to, coordinate the visits with all of the senior center sites. And you're also on Council on Aging board now, right? So all of that data, I mean, because ultimately, we're gonna be doing a baton handoff at some point, and really COA is gonna continue, and as long as they have access to this information, then that'll work, because once we stop formally deliberating as a group, that information is still relevant going forward for the COA, this as long as that availability is there. Because
Absolutely.
I've been given a link to it, but I don't technically possess a copy for the sake of our committee, and that's okay, because it's working group information, but I want to make sure that it carries on under COA.
Yes, now PEG is certainly going to be a source that we're going to be going to for information. And Deb, I think you know PEG fairly well. You could probably even ask her a couple of questions now and then.
I can.
All right, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So Peg, you had your hand up a while ago, and I didn't mean to not call on you, but somebody else was speaking at the time, and you're not a committee member, so you're a member of the public. So did you have something that you needed to say? Because I think
No, I
we've heard-
actually must have hit a button on the keyboard.
Ah,
I don't know how to raise my hand other than,
oh, well,
so
whatever.
then I lowered my hand and went, oops,
Yeah,
no
so yeah,
questions.
oh, the hand was up on the screen here, so
How'd I do that?
I have no idea how you did it, Peg. No idea.
I'll
no
show you,
clue.
Peg.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Good, Deb. Thank you for helping. So Peg, you're the only member of the public. You don't really have any comments outside of how to raise your hand in an electronic forum.
No, actually, I might comment, since Mary Ann Bassett is not here, that
Yes.
our little committee of 3 has been putting together plans for furnishings and a warming kitchen and all kinds of other details for the interior of the senior center. But until we have access to the space and specific measurements for the space, we can't proceed beyond what we've already accomplished. So we're in a holding pattern right now. It's a bit frustrating, but
Yeah.
it is what it
sure.
is. Yeah.
But you've at least looked, and you're knowing based upon, some layout configurations we've got, approximate, so you know approximately what could be where, but the finalization of any of that is, can't be done yet. I get it.
Correct.
good, but at least that's moving forward, because we certainly don't want to wait till, you get 30 days left and say, oh, geez, hey, we're gonna put something in here. Yeah.
No, we're ready to
Good.
roll.
Good, that's good news.
Peg, is
That's
that a
excellent news,
working
actually.
group under the COA?
Say what?
You said that there's a group of 3 people that have been looking at furnishings and such. Is that a working group under the COA?
No, it's Mary Ann Bassett, myself, and Pat Kozik. Sort of an informal furnishings group.
All right, well, that should be all right. Yeah, because I don't, I don't. So is,
We just
Pat-
lost Deb. Pat
Oh.
Kozik is the
Oh,
clerk,
she's back.
yeah,
the Council on Aging clerk.
Ah. Oh, right.
I think Amy asked the 3 of them to work together because they had some ideas about design and color coordinations and vice versa.
okay, good. Yeah, so that's perfect. We can certainly draw upon some of that information, but what the COA is doing, they're doing, and from my vantage point, certainly sounds like going in the right direction. They're planning on an assumption that things are gonna move forward, so, time will tell. So Peg, since you were the only member of the public, do you have any other comments? Because I'm in the public comments section right now.
No,
Are you
I'm all
good?
set. Yeah, I'm
Good.
good.
Good. Anybody else on the committee have any other issues that they want to bring up at this moment?
No.
We will not schedule another meeting at this time anyway. When Dan gets the minutes out, we can all take a look at those. We'll then kind of take those minutes as a summary of what happened tonight. But before those even go out, I will send a note to Linda, to Mary Ann, and to Josh regarding setting up this working group. I don't think Josh is interested, but Linda can get on if she has the time, because she's a non-voting member. I'm kind of hoping Mary Ann might want to get on also. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll send something out tomorrow, maybe between meetings, and see what interest there is. If there's nothing else, I would certainly take a motion to adjourn. If anybody would want to make that.
So moved.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Stephanie. Must want to go home. Don't blame you. Would there be a second?
I will second.
Second?
Thank you. All right, roll call. Paul,
Yes, please.
Mark,
Yes,
Jack.
I'm not sure.
Oh, always one.
Yes,
Oh,
for Deb.
okay, thank you, Deb. And I'm a yes. Dan
Yes, please.
and Stephanie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, folks. Good meeting tonight. Thank you. I'll see